So now, cool, and we are good to go. And yeah, in this this show, I'm going to talk about some of the improvements we have made in making it easier for you to manage your SAP integration. I was looking at it firstly at some of the reasons, and well, it's not huge, these improvements that we're making, but they're good, I think. So if you're live here, just put some comments into the chat. I really appreciate that. Just hearing that you're here, that this is something for you, is really exciting for me. So put a comment into the chat if you're here, or are watching it later and have some questions, then I'll try to answer them as well as possible. But let's get started. We have a lot of things that I want to cover, and I am on this screen if I select the right thing. Yes. So we have created this release node. We released it yesterday. Today we are able to share all the information about it. And we have a number of really cool improvements. Hi Nimrod, glad you could join. So some of these things are JMS sender and IDOC sender. And let me just show you what this is. So previously we have supported some of the online adapters, HTTP based adapters. If it was not one of these, we would create a new iFlow and then allow you to send messages into it. So here I've just created a test case. And if we run this, we can actually, this is a part of the next one, we can see when it was created, what version of the iFlow it was actually triggered on, and when this recording was created. And this is one of the things that makes it easier to join. Hi Roger, glad you could join. So let's just run it here. And the idea is we would send this method in. So we'll create our own HTTP to JMS, and then we can actually process the messages correctly in that format. If we just look at the PR here, we can see we have an HTTP to JMS, and then we have the real channel here where everything is being processed in. We can obviously also see this in from the Figaf tool, and this is the recommended way to do it. Yeah, and if you have questions on this topic, just put them in, or something you're seeing, this could be really cool, this is what I'd love to hear. So if we look here, we can see the messages, and we can see that we have just processed a message here, 52. And this just makes it a lot easier to do these kind of tests because we have this. Same way we're supporting IDOC adapters, they just need to be created, and then it will send an IDOC in. Obviously you need to have recorded an IDOC that it can use for these scenarios. So it's some of the things that we have made to make it easier. We already covered this test case about when it has been created. One cool feature is also if the version is different than what you have in runtime, we would actually also show it here. And this is really a great way if you think you made a change but you forgot to deploy it. And a lot of time when I'm doing demos, I would actually show this, and by mistake, but anyway, it's pretty easy just to redeploy the iFlow, run it again, and then you can see that the test is created with the correct value. Yes, so we can see it also fetches the messages. We have improved the polling functionality to show you where things is going on and stuff like that. So we try to make it a lot easier for you to use the tool for these scenarios. Cool, glad you're joining. Testing polling, so I guess this is more when you're creating test cases on the PI system. And this is especially true if you're doing migrations. You want to select some iFlows here. You can select record messages. Actually, I don't think I processed some messages on this lately, so it may be a little challenging. Just get something here. So right now, just add it to the same test case. Oh, live PI polling. So obviously it would be fun if it did not work right now. So right now we can see we have two messages here and we can poll them. Earlier we did have some challenges that it could cause some problems, but with this new improvement it just makes it so much easier that you can see whenever something is being processed and then pull these messages, and then you can obviously take these and create them in your PI environment and migrate these. So this is what we have here, and I think this just makes the process of testing a lot easier. So I think that was all of the testing, yeah, the PI processing that we covered these items, and I think that's important. The next one is for the migration libraries, and one of the things that we added here was we wanted to see how the tool would actually behave if you were doing transports to taking B2B message mapping and converting them to CPI flow, and we found it was actually possible. There were some things that we obviously need to get out of it, but we did improve the migration algorithm to ensure we created some more easier to manage iFlow, gave you some more warnings on some of these topics. So let me just show you what you then see if you go into a migration. I will see here we have the B2B, I guess it is this one up here. If we go in here and we want to create a migration here on our default profile, we can check here. It would not matter. But what we can then see here is that it shows us this one has a type value all as one. There's another one where you also have it. There's the container that is variable that is used. In this video we'll link to here, I also describe how to get rid of these or what you need to do. Sometimes you can, other times you cannot, and this really depends on what scope you have. And I think here it also comes with a warning that there is some code that cannot be migrated, or may, but it is not really defined optional. So these are some of the things you probably want to reconsider, and let's recode that into some other type of expression. And I think it is, yeah, because Java and Groovy is not the same. And obviously you could probably add some automation, but I don't think it's really worth it. The migration report, and this is one of the things that I really think a lot of our customers have really enjoyed when I have been going through the tool and showing, okay, so now we have connected it, we have created this. Let me just give you an insight about your landscape. So previously we had this under the PI to CPI migration. Now we added as a separate item, and here we can just say agent report. Which statistics do we want to use for this? And this is really a powerful report. We can open it, and now we can see all the details here. And the new item we have added here is this center adapter configuration, so we can actually show you here what adapters you have, what are the host names that you're using this, and I guess maybe it's on, and obviously it's the same one on the receiver side. Here you can also see host names, FTP host, all of these different things. So we're taking all non-transportable value that we thought this is the most important ones that you actually want to show here, put it into this this table, so it's easy to manage and show what is actually important for you to see here. And obviously you'd not see passwords because we in most cases anyway cannot do that. But I hope you can see how this can improve your experience, both when you're doing migration from PI to cloud integration, but also when you're working just on normal development processes. Or trying to do a PI to PO migration, anything like that, then this report just makes your life a lot easier to understand what is actually going on here. And yeah, you can get this for free if you just sign up for the trial or for the migration edition. then you can use this report to understand the landscape. And the key thing that I actually think is really useful here is this, which out here we have the number of messages that has been processed successfully. So that's really a cool thing. Good. And let me see the next one. Here is this cloud version report. And this is also an important thing. So normally you would have your CPI landscape or cloud integration where you would have a lot of details about a lot of iFlows that has been deployed in the landscape. What we have added now is to give you information about what version is actually deployed. So if we scroll down here, we can see that we have a version here in the productive system that is 182, and we have only deployed 126. If I saw that on the client side, I would probably scream and run away and say, this is probably a little too much difference. But having this information at your fingertip just makes it easier to do governance, understand what is going on for this. So we added this in our last patch. Now we also added a CSV report that you can open with this specific information. And here you can see whether or not it is different or not. We do have some challenge with Excel that does not understand these things, but I think the way you would do it is import from CSV Excel. Here you would use this function instead. Here it can see the different items. One thing I would love to know is if I could skip the first column where we're adding this separator. Transform. So here it is. So I guess I close and load. So here we can then scroll around in it. If we had deleted the first row, we would obviously be easy to see these different values and see, is there actually any of these iFlows we actually need to look into and check out what is going on. But not a huge improvement, but just something that makes the life easier of SAP integration developers. So this is available on all platforms. It is really easy to get started on and understand how you can actually use this this tool. I created a couple of weeks ago a video that showed you that in 20 minutes you could have created your first transport, which both a test case and a transport with the tool in our cloud solution, just as a way to say, okay, this is really not hard. And I chose the most difficult connectivity option that we had. So it is by all means doable to get this to work and understand how to work with these scenarios. So I hope you want to go try it out at figaf.com and sign up for the free trial, either the on-premise or on the cloud. Get the tool running, create these reports, because I think running this in your landscape just makes it a lot easier for you to get your day-to-day work done. Having test cases, having a good monitoring solution, and there's a lot more than obviously what we covered today. Yeah, I think we do not have too much other than a few bug fixes on the transport path, and I think this is the most ideal way to deliver something like this. So yeah, if you have questions, comments, put them into the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this format, because I do think that it is somewhat fun to create these. I don't know if I should pre-announce and schedule this so you know when it was coming, or it's better just to see me pop up and then join these things, because yeah, being here and talking and is quite simple to get started on, and makes it easy to give you the input that you need for something like this. But yeah, if not on the comment questions, yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Thanks.